So, good evening, everybody. Great to have you all here. I'm wondering what that difference is. Well, let me just move this ever so slightly. So, let's see. Good evening to you all. Good evening, Vuslat. Good evening, Vibes. Good evening, Malem. Good evening, VG. Good evening, Oksana. And good evening to you as well, Vladimir. Huh. Yes, it's brilliant to have you. Hello, Lavinia. Great to have you with us. It's a lovely thing to have you with us here. Let me try moving that down a fraction. No, that's too far. Okay, and good evening, Most, and good evening, Valentine, as well. Okay, it's great to have you all here again. It's great to be with you all. A very big thank you to Razgar for that generous donation. I don't think he's here yet, but if he is, then thank you anyway. So good evening, Neog, as well. It's great to have you. We're going to do the same as we always do, or have been doing for quite a while. So good evening, Vitali. Good evening, Mustafa, as well. Great to have you. Okay, we've been doing this. Well, I just started last time this article about how influencers affect the food that we eat. Same to you, Leroy. And Shalom Renyard, great to have you. Hi there, Count Beauty. Great to see you as well. So last time, at the very end of the last class, we had, many of us are lucky enough to have some degree of choice over what we eat. When we open the fridge or browse the shelves of a local supermarket, there are a smorgasbord, a big collection. Elena, great to see you. And good evening, Akshat, and good evening, Advance, and that's brilliant. No, we've started. Yeah, this should be the right time, yeah? Okay, we're here. Good evening, Manji. That's great. It's great to have you. And good evening, Alex Takis as well. It's great to have you all here. Okay, so any second now we're going to get the very first question. Good evening, Kate. And thank you, Leroy. Okay, it's on for you too. There's probably some delay. YouTube are not always the most they don't always make things work so well. Okay, hi Mohammed and hi George Washington. Great to see you all. Okay, so let's start. But are the decisions we make about our diet as free as we like to think? What if there was something other than our own hunger and the choices that happen to be at eye level, influencing, weighting, coaxing, cajoling what we eat? So we've started off. Smorgasbord. It's Swedish. Yes, it's a type of buffet with food, and you choose what you want. But they definitely use that in English. So we've got influencing for Vitali and Malem. And good evening, Ahmed. Great to have you. And influencing for Manji, Oksana, and Count. At eye level. I think maybe, yeah. So, no. You really want a comma after that. Happen to be at eye level. Influencing, weighting, coaxing, cajoling what we eat. So let's see. Influencing for Renyard, for Vuslat, for VG. Influencing on. No. To have an influence on, but to influence something. So to influence, no preposition. But to have an influence on with a preposition. So influencing for Elena and for Lavinia as well. Okay, so to coax. You coax somebody into doing something that they don't really want to do. to cajole. To cajole is like to coax, but more aggressive. You're pushing people to do something. I think cajoling us into deciding, coaxing us into deciding. And then weighting. Well, different factors may have a different weighting, a different influence, but very clearly here the right answer is influencing. Whoops, I need capital letters. influencing. Okay, that's brilliant. You need to be very careful of that, VG. Yeah? Very often the noun and the verb have different prepositions. Yeah, this A influences B, but B has an influence on C. Okay, so, ooh, goody, we got 2 in the next one. Okay, so, well, 1 second and this will come up. So, a landslide victory for all of you there. You all got this one right. That one was reasonably easy. And next one. Scroll through social media sites such as Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, and you will be confronted with picture after picture of perfectly presented and utterly delicious looking meals. While the smell and taste of food can have an undeniably powerful effect on our cravings, passions, itches, aspirations, our endless posts of steaming snacks and glistening specks, snippets, scraps, shreds, morsels, more than just a feast for our eyes. Okay, so waiting and waiting sound exactly the same vibes. Absolutely. Yeah, the waiting, we're waiting for the waiting. And so, cravings for Lavinia and Vive. Vitali goes cravings and morsels. VG goes for cravings as well. And Valentine goes for cravings and snippets. And Count goes for aspirations and scraps. And Lavinia for cravings and snippets. This is quite interesting. So the first one seems to be a landslide. Vladimir goes for cravings. Malem goes for cravings and snippets. VG says no idea about the second. Vuslat for cravings. Ahmed for cravings. Oksana for cravings. Manji goes for cravings and morsels. So let's see. Hey, I've just noticed I've even got my little tick after my name here on the on where I'm writing. That's brilliant. So Renyard goes for cravings and snippets, and Oksana for morsels. Vibes for cravings and morsels. This is quite interesting. Okay, so let's see. Craving, very definitely. Vladimir's gone for morsels. Okay, if you crave something, you really want it. On our cravings, a craving is like you suddenly have this strong desire for something. Most goes for cravings and shreds. Elena goes for cravings and morsels. You're about to have a late meal, and here I'm speaking about food. This is an interesting, because that's what it's all about. To crave something, to have a craving for something. Yes, exactly like that example previously. To crave something, but to have a craving for something. I guess you could crave for something as well. Let's see, your aspirations. These are talking about your ambitions. And an itch, well, an itch you want to scratch. I guess a craving is an itch to do something, but no. And our passions, this is talking about emotions. No, this is very definitely cravings. I have a craving for strange food, or if you're trying to give up smoking, you have a craving for cigarettes. Now, this next one is really interesting. So, you crave chocolate. I have a craving for chocolate. Yes, that would do very nicely. Cravings. Can't get the second one. So, let's see. A shred. I guess a shred would do, but a shred is normally a shred of information. A shred is a little cut piece. The machine shredded my shirt to cut it, break into tiny little bits. Yeah, I guess you could have your food shredded, as in shredded wheat, but normally a shred of information, yeah, shreds. A scrap is normally something left over. Yeah, you go to the scrap yard to find a piece for your car. Scrap metal, a scrap of paper that's no longer useful. Yeah, so scrap is something that nobody really wants, that you could maybe recycle. I have an itch for chocolate. That would work, Oksana, very definitely. And Neog goes for influencing. Absolutely, that's the right one. You don't have a shred of evidence. That's a lovely example. Okay, so scrap. Something that's scrap is something that you want to recycle. A snippet. A snippet is something cut off again. A snippet of information. Yeah, a snippet or a snipping from a newspaper. This comes from the verb to snip, snip, snip with scissors. And a speck is something really, really small. Maybe you have a speck in your eye. An egg of a bird could be speckled with little dots on it. No, but not a speck. It's a morsel. Definitely a morsel of food. Muesli with some cashew nuts is your craving for this evening. Sounds very nice. I'm craving for a cold drink. I guess you could. I crave a cold drink. But the answer definitely here is morsels, because morsel particularly goes with food. In Spain, where I live, it's typical you go to a bar and you buy a drink and they give you some sort of tasty morsel with it. Yeah, but a morsel of food. Morsel goes with food. A speck is something very, very, very small that you can only just see. A snippet, something that you've cut. Scrap. A scrap is a torn old piece that maybe you want to recycle. A shred is like a snippet, but it's torn. Wow, Manji, thank you very much indeed. And also, again, thank you to Rizgar for his generous contribution at the beginning. Thank you, Manji. That is so kind of you. And Neog's gone for cravings and shreds. Well, it's actually cravings and morsels. Thank you, Manji. That is so, so kind of you. So, good evening, Chilly Willy. Great to have you. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next one. Yeah, remember, snip, snip, snip. A snippet from a newspaper. A snippet of information. A shred, a small piece. A speck is a tiny dot. Okay, so let's try the next one. Certainly, it appears we're hugely influenced by other people, especially those closest to us, when it comes to what we eat. Research has found the closer and stronger two people's connections, the more sway, prestige, consequence, impel, standing they have over each other's food choices. So, thank you again, Manji. You are just so generous. Okay, and let's see. Sway for vibes and Vitali. Valentine says impel. Malem goes for sway. Good evening, Maria. To see the speck in the eye. Yes, the speck. Normally they use the word a mote, but a speck is like a mote. A speck of dust. That's a great collocation, vibes. I love it. Yeah. Okay, so, and Lavinia goes for sway as well. So the more sway, the more prestige, the more consequence, the more impel, the more standing they have over others' food choices. So, let's see. Vladimir and Elena go for sway. Renyard for impel. Maria goes for sway. Good evening, Rafa goes for impel. Ahmed goes for sway. This is interesting. And we will see. Count Beauty goes for sway, and hi to you again, Maria. Okay, so Count Beauty goes for sway, and we'll probably get a few more answers. Okay, standing talks about reputation. My account is in good standing. Yeah, upstanding, in a good position, in a powerful position. The more consequence, so that's for Chilly Willy. I've tried a guess because I don't even know what what sway is. Well, sway is a word we've been having quite a lot recently. And George Washington goes for impel. The specks in the eyes of others. Don't pay attention to the log in your own eye. Yes, normally they say a mote. Alex Dakis goes for sway as well. Okay, so it's not standing. To impel is a verb. I think impulsion, I'm not sure of a verb for impel. To impel means to push forwards. The more consequence. I guess consequence would fit, but it's not very good. Prestige. Prestige is reputation. Yeah? So, Oksana, hold sway. This is the collocation. Yes, very definitely. To hold sway, to have influence over. And once again, we've got this word sway. Okay, to sway somebody's decision, to change them from deciding one thing to another, to influence, to have sway, yeah, to have influence over. So the more sway, the more influence they have over other people's food choices. Think about sway and persuade, yeah? Okay, several times we've seen this word sway. Somebody with a lot of prestige holds sway over many people. Advertising tries to sway our choice when it comes to the point of buying. You got it right, Lavinia. It was a good guess. Wow, thank you, Borka. That's so kind of you. That really is so kind of you. So thank you to Manji, thank you to Borka, and thank you to Rizgar as well, who made a donation before I even actually came into the stream. That was wonderful. So thank you, Borka, as well. And a lot of our winks, nods, innuendos, cues, eye-openers come from face-to-face interactions, are linked with who we're with, says Solveig Argeseanu, Associate Professor of Global Health and Epidemiology at Emory University in Atlanta. So a lot of our winks, nods, innuendos, cues, eye-openers from face-to-face interactions are linked to who we're with, says this Solveig. So we have cues for Vitali, and would it have the same meaning with to be? The stronger the connection is. Yes, the stronger the connection is. That would work, vibes. Sway, persuade, exactly, Maria. Good evening, Emin. Great to see you. Good evening, Takar. So Valentine goes for Q, so does Vitali, so does Malem, so does Count Beauty. Lavinia goes for eye-openers, Oksana for Qs, Elena for Qs, Emin for winks, Maria for Qs. So, and Renyard for Qs as well. So to wink is when you shut one eye. To blink is two, but wink is when you shut one eye. She winked at me. To nod is to nod your head. An innuendo is when you suggest something. You say something that it doesn't say that somebody's done something bad, but you make an innuendo. It's an indirect comment. So Neil goes for sway, and Your mum holds sway over what you eat. Exactly, Raphael. That's perfect English. Vuslat for cues, neog for sway for the previous one, chili for cues as well. So, let's see. An eye-opener is something that opens your eyes. Okay, so where you see the reality. An eye-opener is an epiphany. Maybe you saw that verb the other day. So when he started to shout at the children, it was a real eye-opener. I thought he was a really nice guy, but this was a real eye-opener. An eye-opener is a situation that shows you the reality of something. So, a hint. Yes, a lot of our hints, a lot of our cues. A cue is something that pushes us to do something else. In the theatre, the cue is the words that come before what we need to say. A cue is like a prompt, a push. Yes, Oksana, to pick up cues. Yeah, a cue is like a hint, a little push, a prompt, a wake-up call. That's your eye-opener. Yeah, is okay. I guess winks and nods could work, but they're too informal and they don't exactly mean. But here, cues, social cues. You pick up cues. So, to pick up on cues. To pick up on cues. To pick up on, meaning to notice. Yes, and Manji's gone for cues as well. And good evening, Shubha. Great to have you. Okay, I'm glad you like that word. A cue is like a prompt. Yeah, it's something that pushes you. It's time to do this. Yeah, to trigger, to cue. That's very good, most. Cues have a lot of yes. Okay, well notice, don't confuse it with Q-U-E-U-E. You could have a snooker cue. It's the thing that you play with. But like a nudge, that's a really good word. Very definitely. Okay, so yeah, we get cues from what people say. My friend started yawning, so I said, it's time for me to go. That would be a cue, yeah? Him yawning was a cue for me to go home, yeah? My friend said he was really thirsty. I think this was a cue for me to buy him a drink. Yeah, so something like a nudge or a prompt or a little push to do something. Okay, so a clue, a cue, a hint. Yes, Raphael. It's something that indicates it's the moment to do something. Okay, so we've already got answers from Vitali. It's more about the relationship and how I compare myself with that person than specific individuals. I think the person I'm with is more attractive. So if I think the person I'm with is more attractive or popular, I'll incline, gravitate, dispose, cherish, tend to want to imitate them more. Good evening, Adam. So, 10 for Vitali, Valentine, Lavinia, Malem, Oksana, Elena, Count Beauty. Is it linked with or linked to in other context? I think linked with or linked to, they're both okay. Tend or gravitate depends. So, what would be the preposition with gravitate? That's a general question. To gravitate, yeah? How would you make incline fit? And how would you make dispose fit? So how would you make incline, gravitate and dispose fit? I think cherish is not very good. To cherish is to hold something of great value, to think that it's absolutely fantastic. So let's see. Tend for Tarig, for Renyard, for Vuslat, for Tariq again, for Raphael, for Vladimir, for Chile, for Amin, good evening, for Maria, for Adam. Okay, yes, that's it, cues, Neog. And Malem, yes, gravitate towards. Yeah, I'll gravitate, I'm going to put towards there. Okay, yeah. No, to gravitate towards. To be inclined. No, it's not acceptable. Yeah. To be inclined to do. Yes, so I'll be inclined to want to imitate more what they do. What about disposed? To be inclined to. Yes. To be, to gravitate towards. To be, so, well, the answer very clearly is tend. Because you've got a tendency to do this. To be inclined to, very definitely. Okay, to be disposed to. Yeah, to be disposed to do something. Yeah? Cherish something is transitive. Yeah, but you cherish something. You hold it in great esteem. I cherish the present that my dad gave me on my 18th birthday. Exactly, Oksana. To be disposed to do something. That's wonderful. To cherish something. Okay, the next one I love. Yeah, this is a great paragraph. I'll dispose myself to. That would also work, Amin. I like your suggestion. I think that works very, very nicely. So this one, the first one, is really easy. This can mean these social cues, tags, flags, innuendos generally encourage us to eat more. Argeseanu adds, although being around healthy eaters may encourage you to eat healthier, too, according to research. So what is the mistake in the paragraph? This is the paragraph, sick. This is exactly what the paragraph said. I think I should put sick here afterwards because there's a mistake in this paragraph. What's the mistake? Okay, we just saw cues a few minutes earlier as well, about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Although being around healthy eaters may encourage you to eat healthier. Although plus clause is okay, but there's a glaring mistake in this sentence. If you write this mistake in my class, I'm gonna pull you up over it because none of you should make this mistake. Yeah. Okay. So very definitely cues. Tags, you have the price tag on something, or you have the tags on a page in internet. A flag. No comma after all, though. No, it's much, much, much worse than that. Although, being healthy, okay, I think the comma's okay, but there's something much, much, much worse in this. Yeah, there's something absolutely horrible. Good evening, live. No, it's not although and to. It's something much, much, much worse than that. Good evening, Om. Great to see you. It's been 8. Thank you, Maria Mikkonen. Exactly. That's a horrible mistake, isn't it? To eat healthier. My God, that's terrible. Yeah? I have a mind to complain to the BBC about this. Okay, the quotation marks. No. To eat healthier. No. Healthier, no. To eat more healthily. Yeah? To eat more healthily. Yeah? Okay. Yes, and let's see. Very, very definitely. It's got to be more healthily. And these are cues as well. Here. Although being around healthy eaters, I think that being around sounds okay. Although being around healthy eaters, I think it's probably better without the comma. Although being around healthy eaters may encourage you to eat more healthily. 2. That 2's horrible as well. This sentence is a total pig's ear. Yeah, they made a pig's ear of it. It's a rotten sentence. But you see, so even BBC journalists mess up from time to time. Exactly, Lavinia. Healthier is an adjective. It's a comparative adjective. And we're not looking for a comparative adjective. We are looking for an adverb. Eat, to eat. It says to eat. It's even got an infinitive. To eat healthier food. Exactly, Raphael. To eat healthier food. That would work very nicely as well. But to eat more healthily. To eat healthier food. Okay, so let's see. Incline, 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 incline. No, it's tend, Neog. Okay? Yeah, two is horrible as well. It really is. Yeah? Okay, so let's try the next one. Our eating habits are also influenced by what we see. Scientists say we favour oozing protein. Okay, a slobbering, dribbling egg, centre, yellow, albumin, yolk, or boiling, bubbling, fizzing mozzarella, for example. So, it's great to have you all here. This really, really is. Yes, the sun is filled with mistakes, but this is by the BBC, Maria. Yeah, and that's people's money that they have to buy a license. It should be better than that. So, let's see. Okay, we're starting to get some answers. And let's see, dribbling egg yolk and fizzing for count, dribbling yolk for Vitali. The glaring mistake is a moment of epiphany. I've seen mistakes before, but this is one of the worst. Okay, Lavinia goes for a dribbling yolk, Manji for dribbling and yolk, Lavinia says fizzing, Raphael for dribbling and yolk, and Malem for dribbling yolk and fizzing. Part 4, good evening, goes for slobbering yolk and boiling. Vuslat for dribbling yolk, Vibes for dribbling yolk, Maria for fizzing, Manjira for fizzing, Vibes goes for fizzling, fizzling. Yes, oh, I like fizzling, that's quite good. And Vladimir goes for dribbling yolk and fizzling, and Chili for dribbling, Oksana. Fizzing mozzarella, a poetic combo. A dribbling yolk. The yolk is yellow, the yellow part of the egg, whereas the albumin is the white one. Absolutely. So it just can't be the albumin. Yeah, and we don't call it the yellow. It could be the centre, but the right word is the yolk. Notice this is pronounced like joke and folk. The yolk. Yeah, so Chili's gone for yellow. Eat healthily. Absolutely. Yes, that's it, Vitali. And Vuslat goes for fizzing. Hey, yo, left or right. I'm glad to have you, my friend. And Maria goes for fizzing as well. Okay, to slobber means to salivate. The dog was slobbering at the sight of the food. Yeah, but here it's dribbling. It's dribbling out of the centre, and dribbling is very definitely the right word here. But now we've got this last one. Okay, Magedo goes for boiling. So I'm going to shock all of you. It's not fizzing mozzarella. If something's fizzing, this is a fizzy drink. It's got bubbles of gas coming out of it. Yeah? The drink is fizzing. I put bicarbonate in the water and it started fizzing. It's not fizzing. Yeah? So, one of the other two, it's definitely not fizzing mozzarella. How do you make mozzarella fizz? Someone earlier said, that, okay, it's a very poetic combo. That was you, Oksana. I guess as a poetic combo, it might work, but this is more down to earth, and I think the writer of this article is not that smart. So which one is it? Boiling or bubbling mozzarella? Left or right's gone for bubbling. So the first answer from left or right. Okay, so there. You messed it up, Maria. Everybody messed this one up. Okay, so boiling mozzarella, you don't boil cheese, yeah? Bubbling, absolutely. To dribble is when saliva comes out of your mouth. A baby has a bib because it dribbles. To dribble is to fall down slowly. So the egg yolk is dribbling down, yeah? It's dribbling over the edge of something. Okay, let's see. When you take your pizza out of the oven, the cheese should be bubbling. Absolutely. Yeah? It makes this fizzing sound. It sounds okay, but that normally it's bubbling, yeah? Fizzing mozzarella. Yeah. Who would have thought we would hear something like this in our lives? No, fizzing mozzarella. Fizzy mozzarella, that was probably a new product. The cheese bubbles when it's melted. Absolutely. It definitely bubbles. It couldn't be anything else. And to dribble is to drip down slowly. Okay, let's have another one. I hope I'd prepared enough questions for today. I've still got 25 minutes and I don't know how many I've got left. I was writing like crazy, but we will see. Yummy. That's what they're saying. Oozing protein. Yeah? So, a dribbling egg yolk. Bubbling mozzarella. Bibs due to dribble. Exactly. Fizzing would be useful for liquid and drinks and would sound like onomatopoeia. Absolutely. Carbonated drinks fizz. Absolutely. Okay, so let me read this next one. There is some evidence that if you see pictures of food, that visual stimulation can act as a cue, can prompt you to feel a desire to eat, says Suzanne Higgs, professor of the psychobiology of appetite. Although she says whether people follow down on that desire, whether people follow through on that desire, whether people follow out on that desire, whether people follow on that desire, when people follow in on that desire, is influenced by a lot of other factors, such as what food is available at the time. Yeah, if you're hungry, you eat what there is. Like Egg Benedict, that's very good, Manji. Yeah, the dribbling egg yolk of Eggs Benedict. Okay, so Vitali goes for through, Lavinia for down, Valentine for through, Oksana for follow in, left or right for follow through, Count Beauty for follow through, Melem for follow through. And Vibe says follow through on, I quite like that. And Manji goes for through, Maria goes for through. Okay, and Amin goes for follow on. And Raphael goes for follow through. Follow through for Renyard. Okay, so this is saying, yes, if you see pictures of food you want to eat, but whether you do something about that desire or not, it depends on other factors. So follow through for Renyard. Ahmed says follow down. Elena says follow through. George Washington says follow down. Vladimir goes for follow through on. So does Vuslat. And part 4 follow through as well. And followed through. Ooh, that's a very nasty situation. Yeah? When you do that, you need not to follow through. Okay, so let's look at some of these. So, to follow down, you don't follow down. It's not a good collocation. To follow out, I followed him out of the cinema. To follow in, yeah, I followed my friends in. Yeah, so chili for follow through. Feel a desire to eat, or the desire to eat. Yes, they're both good. Feel a desire to eat, feel the desire to eat. Both of them would work. Yeah. Feel some desire, the one to eat. Feel the specific desire to eat. Both are good. Follow me down to a place by the river. Yes. It's follow through. You've got it. Let's see. I think whether people follow on that desire. I don't like this double on. I think follow on, I would say with that desire. With people follow on, full stop. Yeah? But follow through. To follow through on that desire. Yeah? To follow through is to continue, is not to stop. Whether or not, ellipsed. I was struggling to get without thee or not. Okay. So, good, yeah. It's follow through. Good. Well done, Oksana. Okay. Follow in the footsteps of. That was good. But notice that's in the footsteps of someone. He promised to help me today, and he followed through. To follow through on a promise, to do what you promised to do. He said he would take me to the cinema, and he followed through. Yeah, to follow through is to continue. Yeah, is to not stop. Yeah, so whether they follow through, whether they carry out, whether they act on that desire. And this is the idea, is to follow through. Notice to follow through intransitive, to follow through on something with an indirect object. Okay, so to follow through. Wow. Okay, so we're going to have another one now if it comes up. Okay, yeah, so to follow through. Yeah, I said there was going to be a live stream today, and I followed through. I did what I said I was going to do. 501 synonyms and antonyms. I remember that comment, Ramesh. Okay. A lot. I'm not sure. Keep one's promise. That's a good example. Through often has the quality of completing. Exactly. That's very good vibes. So I better get reading. But social media is one place where visual and social cues meet. There is certainly evidence, testimony, substantiation, grounds that if friends in your social network post regularly about particular types of food, it could lead you to copy them, for better or for worse. And research indicates that social media might be changing our relationship with food, making us think differently about what we eat. Okay, so let's see. Evidence for Vitaly, Leferite, Lavinia, Malem, Ahmed, Oksana, Maria, Count Beauty, and Raphael, and Elena, and Renyard as well. Okay, so we've got a landslide for evidence. What's wrong with substantiation? And Manji goes for evidence, and so does Amin. Testimony, this is the evidence that somebody gives in court. Testimony is in court when a witness stands up and gives testimony. So grounds, well, look at this is. There are certainly grounds for believing that. So grounds is close, but it's not. So, and Vladimir goes for evidence as well. What's wrong with substantiation? Okay, too evident. Okay, what's wrong with substantiation? Evil Evidence. Evidence. Yes. Evidence. 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 Evident. It's an E. You wish I dressed as Santa for the Xmas special. I've been working on a song for this year. Research indicates could be a nice place to confuse us. Okay, yes. So, by a lot of other factors. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, it's influenced by a lot of other factors. Substantiation needs an article. My name's Alex, part 4. Substantiation is scientific. Feel a desire or the desire with the direct article. To feel a desire, one of many, to feel a specific desire. But so he felt desire, general. He felt the desire to do this. The desire, when you specify exactly what the desire is. If it's a desire, it's just general. For general things, love is more important than money, not the love is more important than the money. Thank you, Oksana. This is the question the answer I was looking for. Substantiation, the meaning fits, but it's just too formal with the rest of this. This article's probably 5.5, 5.75 in formality, and substantiation, this is like a 7.5. Okay, so absolutely, yes, unduly formal and academic, exactly, Malem. Substantiation means you prove completely, stronger than evidence. Yes, I believe they are. It'll probably take them several months, but they gave me my verification badge left or right. Yeah, which made me very happy. That little grey tick after my name. Substantiation. Substantiation is like evidence. It's probably stronger, but it would work here. But it's just too formal. It's unduly scientific and formal, as said by Oksana and Melem. So let's go to another one. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, yeah, I've got lots more. That's really good. Okay, I made enough of these. Sorry about this. Okay, so I need to write the word evidence. I was just checking to see how much more I got ready for you later. It's too difficult a word for this Daily Mail journalist. This is more a Daily Mail journalist. I quite agree with you. I think the BBC should sack this one. Yeah, okay, yes, so we're going to have another one in a second. Yeah, to substantiate is to give an example of something. So, if all your friends on social media are posting pictures of themselves consuming, imbibing, swallowing, gobbling fast food, it's going to set a policy, a par, a barometer, a tradition, a norm that eating fast food is what people do, says Higgs. So, let's see. Lavinia goes for gobbling, Vitaly for gobbling and norm, Valentine for consuming and norm, Kate for consuming and norm, Lavinia for norm. The desire is a specific one. Yeah, you've got to say we've both got to know which desire we're talking about. The desire to achieve. Yeah, the desire to do something. You've got to make it specific. Otherwise, it's just a desire. A whippersnapper fresh out of uni wrote this. I think you're right, left or right. Consuming a norm for Vitaly. Oksana goes for consuming a norm. Imbibing. How many litres? Exactly, George Washington. Raphael goes for consuming a norm. So does Renyard for consuming a norm. And Ahmed. And Count Beauty goes for gobbling a norm. So gobbling, because to gobble means to eat very, very fast. Notice, Lavinia, fast is both an adjective and an adverb. Vuslak goes for consuming a norm, Aristotle goes for gobbling a norm, left or right for consuming a norm, Manji for consuming a norm. So what is the difference in consuming and gobbling? Yeah, they both mean to eat. It can't be imbibe. To imbibe is to drink, yeah? And swallow. You don't swallow your food, you chew it, yeah? Maria goes for consuming a norm. There's gobble down, but can gobble be used on its own in this context? Okay, so let me say firstly, I think both consuming and gobbling would fit. Yes, and consuming a norm as well for Elena. Okay, so a policy normally is a political policy. Par for a golf course, or what normally happens. A barometer to measure the weather, or maybe an opinion poll as a barometer of opinion. A tradition is something that everybody does, and norm is something normal. So thank you very much, Oksana, well done. Formality is the difference. Consuming, I would say 5.5 in formality. Gobbling, probably 3.75 in formality. I think they both fit. I think maybe gobbling's a fraction informal, but the one they actually used was consuming. But then fast food itself has an informal feeling to it, so gobbling would also fit, and I will accept that. Okay, it's going to set a norm. A norm is what we think is normal. Yeah. Some people swallow their food, especially if they're in a rush. Yeah, when you gobble your food, you do swallow it, but to swallow, very definitely. Okay, so consuming and the norm. That's quite good. But I think gobbling's also acceptable. Yeah. 3.743 to be precise. Okay. And the world all gives you a clue. Yes. And that some of them, yes, consume is more general, gobble is more specific. That's a good point as well, Valentine. Okay, so research suggests we're more likely to engage, engross, absorb, captivate, that should be a T, captivate, sign up with photos of fast food, says Ethan Panzer, professor of marketing. This is particularly true of saturated fat because it makes us feel good by releasing dopamine and stimulating pleasure centers in the brain. Gobsmacked. Okay, when you're very surprised, that's gobsmacked, Maria. So, Vitali, Manji, Oksana, Leferite, Malem, Lavinia, Amin, all go for engage. So, let's see. If you're engrossed, you're concentrating on something. Nothing can take your attention away from it. Engage for Raphael, Maria, and Aristotle goes for engross. Unfortunately, Aristotle is not engross. To sign up. Well, we're more likely to sign up. Yeah, I guess you could sign up to become a member of the team. Okay, so, and Elena goes for engage as well. So, to absorb, to be absorbed, to be captivated, to sign up for the website. But we don't sign up with photos, we sign up for something. Yeah? Okay, engage. C8H11NO2 is dopamine. That's very interesting. Depends on the structure. That looks like a benzene ring plus other bits. Okay, to be captivated by. Yeah, we're more likely to be captivated by, to be absorbed by, to become absorbed with foods. Yeah, to engage, engagement. To be inclined to be captivated, we're more likely to be inclined to be captivated. To engage, very definitely. That looks like Tatiana. Thank you very much, Tatiana. That's wonderful. 7 years is a very long time. I've been at it now 11 years, my God. So, engagement is how much you concentrate on it. To be preoccupied with it. Particularly true. Could it be particularly true for? Yes. Yeah, particularly true. Okay, yes, for that evidence for the previous one. Yes, particularly true for. Okay, so to engage, engagement. And this next one I rather like. Okay, we've got 2 in the next one as well. Okay, so yeah, to engage. If you engage with something, you're interested in it. Yeah, you are you particularly favor it. You think it's absolutely great. Okay, so let's see the next one. Humans are biologically ripe, qualified, primed, skilled, enlightened to seek out calorie-dense food, an ability that helped our ancestors survive when they foraged, marauded, plundered, looted for food. Evolutionary psychology has found that people feel happy when they simply see these foods and thus engage with it more. So, good evening, arduous journey. Wonderful to see you. And so, Arisoda says, says primed, focused on. Oksana says primed. And so does Count Beauty, Renyard. And Oksana goes for foraged for the second one. Leferite for primed, Vibes for primed, Lavinia for primed, Vitali for primed and foraged. Raphael goes for skilled. Normally skilled at seeking. Leferite goes for foraged, Malem goes for primed and foraged, Count Beauty for forage, Manji for foraged, Valentine for skilled and plundered, Renyard for foraged, Vladimir for primed, Ahmed for looted, Lavinia for foraged, Amin primed and foraged, Raphael skilled and foraged, Maria primed and foraged, Amin primed and foraged. Okay, so yeah, this means that biologically we have a tendency to look for high calorie foods. Yeah, it's in our DNA, and that's why we engage more with these fatty foods. So, and Vladimir goes for forage and Elena for primed and foraged. So, are we biologically ripe? No, the fruit is ripe. Yeah, ripe talks about ready. We're biologically qualified. It means we're able to do it. We have the qualifications. We are biologically skilled at seeking out. We are biologically enlightened. No, enlightened doesn't work. Enlightened is talking about understanding things. Primed. To prime is to get something ready. For example, if you want to paint something, you prime the surface. You use a primer and you paint the surface. Here. Okay, primed to do, skilled at. Yep, that's very definitely Raphael. Primed and foraged for Vuslat. Foraging will get you poisoned. It depends if you know your mushrooms or not, left or right. And Malem primed, predisposed, made ready. Yeah. For example, the primer is something that gets something ready. Yeah, it's the primary step. Yeah, the class were the team were primed for action. They were ready for action. Yeah. Some were foraging, some were looting them. Okay, so let's look at these next ones. To loot, let's see. To loot is there is a riot, and you smash the windows of the electronics store, and then you steal everything inside. That's to loot. To plunder. To plunder is to to steal things. It's like looting. To after a battle, to plunder, to take all the things that you can. Man is plundering the earth, taking everything he can. To maraud is to go about looking for trouble, looking for battles. Yeah. And to maraud, a marauder, is to travel about looking for loot and plunder. Yes, left or right, but you need to, let's see, you need to learn mushrooms one at a time. Yeah. For example, there are some that are easily identifiable that don't have poisonous varieties of. Yeah, but some were. Okay, so to forage. To forage is to go out and look for food. Yeah. To forage is to go here and there, seeing what you can find to eat. Yeah. Disposable goods. Yeah. To maraud, to loot. Okay, to maraud, to loot. To maraud is to travel about looking for things to loot and plunder. To forage is to go out looking for food, living off the land. Yeah? So it's only a 1 hour as opposed to 2. Yes, to forage, to go and look for food. So I'm going to stop there. So great thank yous to Rizgar, thank you to Manji, and thank you to Burka as well. That was really kind of all of you. Yeah, you have been so generous. Yeah, thank you for your donations. So yes, you've been a wonderful group. You're now going to ask me, is there going to be a live stream next week? I'm not absolutely certain yet, so you're going to have to check. Yeah. If there is, I will advertise it on the Sunday morning. It's just the 26th is on Boxing Day. If it is, it'll be both me and Lizzie. So left or right, yes, the bees look fantastic today. I've got 5 good hives that are strong. They're bringing in pollen. They are bringing in water. They're even bringing in nectar. They were very active today. The bees have been foraging. Okay, so thank you all so much. So maybe next week, but I will have to see. Okay, it's been a pleasure to have you all. Have a wonderful holiday, and I'm definitely not going to see you all before Christmas. So thank you very much, and have a happy Christmas to all of you, and stay safe.